If you are actually following what is going on in this country, nothing should really shock you anymore. Obama's fundamental transformation continues to march on. Feds push new plan for home visits to check on parents, and this wonderful gift is coming out of the Department of Education. The Department of Education is just one of many ABC agencies that was created by an executive order. We do not need this. This is just more government bureaucracy looking for ways to intrude upon our lives. The federal government is seeking to create a new bureaucracy, because we don't have enough of those yet, right? That would intervene in family life and could even see state-appointed monitors conduct routine home visits to assess a child's well-being. So the first point I want to make is whenever you see someone running for president and they claim they're going to create millions of jobs, they are not talking about jobs in the private sector. They are referring to all the new bureaucracies they plan on creating that are going to employ thousands of people per bureaucracy. The U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has published a draft document which outlines a plan that will treat families as equal partners in the raising of children, opening the door for government intrusion at all levels.
We haven't had a very collective notion of these are our children. So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents.
Now that lovely communist right there is Melissa Harris Perry of MSNBC. If you ever wanted to know what communists actually think, all you gotta do is put her name into YouTube and you will see all the outrageous statements she has made. She recently said that the term hard worker is racist towards black people. That's the level of crazy we are dealing with here. And so I did look at the draft document because I know people are going to tell me that this isn't real, but it actually does say equal partners. Here it is. It is the position of the departments that all early childhood programs in schools recognize families as equal partners in improving children's development, learning, and wellness across all settings and over the course of their children's developmental and educational experiences. So there you have it. This is for real. This is the draft document from the Health and Human Services. The paper describes how government employees will intervene to provide monitoring goals for the children at home and the classroom, and that if parents are failing to meet the standards set, evidence-based parenting interventions will be made to ensure that children's social, emotional, and behavioral needs are met. The document reveals how the state will help oversee constant monitoring, because we really need to be constantly monitored by the state. And I have to say right now, I feel really empty in my life right now that I am not being constantly monitored by the state. Constant monitoring and communication regarding children's social, emotional, and behavioral health. And once again, I just gotta show you, here's the document. This is on page 6. The other one that I showed was on the first page. Here's what it says. Engage families around children's social, emotional, and behavioral health. Ensure constant monitoring and communication regarding children's social, emotional, and behavioral health. Ensure that children's social, emotional, and behavioral needs are met, and that families and staff are connected with relevant community partners such as early childhood mental health consultants and children's medical homes. What is a children's medical home? I've never heard of that before. Is this something new they're going to create out of this? Are they going to shove all the kids that they claim are not being raised right into children's medical homes? I mean, this is beyond Soviet Union level tyranny here. Now, there's one more point that I want to make on this paragraph right here, as it is very pertinent to what is going on in my area. The document reveals how the state will help oversee constant monitoring and communication regarding children's social, emotional, and behavioral health. Over here in San Bernardino County, they have unveiled what they are calling the county-wide vision. It is a vision plan for the county. It is the first plan of its kind in the entire country. It is a plan that will affect every single city involved in the county. The plan stresses what they are calling Cradle-To-Career, the idea being that from your birth to the time you get your first job, the state will be involved in every aspect of your life, so that by the time you get your first job, you'll be such a well-trained government robot that you will do whatever the party says. This here is San Bernardino County CEO Greg Devereaux, who is the mastermind of this plan. Here's what he said about his Cradle-To-Career plan.
They decided that they wanted to develop a Cradle-to-Career continuum or roadmap which identifies key milestones in a child's personal, social, academic, and career readiness.
So what they are doing here is they're going to take every single event that happens in your child's life, and they're going to create a permanent record. By the time they reach adulthood, that permanent record will be accessible to any employer and the government, and it will be used to assign their job and position within the party and will be used against them. If your 7-year-old makes a paper airplane and throws it across the room, the government will know of this when they are 25 years old. This is about total information awareness. The document argues that Big Brother needs to know about essentially everything for the supposed benefit of the child it wants to partner in caring for. Citing research, the policy statement claims that the institutions where children learn cannot ignore family wellness if they want to fulfill their mission to prepare children for school and academic success. In other words, every aspect of family life is now fair game under the pretext of checking family wellness. And I have gone over this repeatedly in different videos. This is all Obamacare, and Obamacare, in my opinion, is the most transformative legislation we have seen under Obama because it gets into every single aspect of our life. The document also extends the understanding of the word family to include all people who play a role in the child's life, a definition that could include not only teachers, but government monitors. In a related development, the federal government is pushing for a task force to oversee a program under which pediatricians and doctors would screen all students over 12 years old regularly for depression and issue prescriptions or treatment as necessary. And yeah, this is so depressing, they probably will need to do this. The program would increase the likelihood of teenagers being given dangerous antidepressant drugs such as Prozac and Lexapro. The idea of children belonging not just to their parents, but to a community that involves the state is a common theme of collectivist thinking. That notion was promoted in the video below from 2013 featuring MSNBC host Melissa Harris Perry, in which she asserted we have to break through our private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families, which I played earlier in the video. There's not a whole lot more I really want to say on this, but the last thing I will say is this. Americans, under no circumstances, do not ever give up your guns.